Do you support privatizing public utilities? And we'll start with Colin Cavanaugh.
In a word, the answer would certainly be no. I think the format that we've been under since, 1946, I believe, has worked pretty well. It gives people, I think, a sense of pride to know that they own a small piece of the utility. I think it gives employees a great sense of pride, knowing that as a ratepayer, they're part of the ball game too. They own a piece of the action. So no, I would not want to support privatization at all. Thank you.
Thank you. Craig Moody.
I don't either. Nebraska is the only 100% public power state in the union, and I think that's a really smart decision that we made a long time ago. The three main benefits, in my view, of us having public power: one is that it respects and requests public input, and that's something that I value greatly, and I think OPPD can do a better job of that. If you were to privatize, one of the things that would happen is that outside investors come in to take over, and that means that those dollars, our dollars that we're keeping locally for the most part, are going to just get spread out and go elsewhere. So I like to keep that economic impact local. And then, finally, there's no profit motive for OPPD. It is a governmental agency. It is not required. It does not desire to make a profit. So when that profit motive comes in, what that typically means for investors is that they're going to be looking for a 7 to 8, if not 10% return, which is going to drive up costs. We need to keep public power. I just think we can do it much better. I think there are some opportunities for us to improve the way in which we're operating our public power district.
Thank you. And Don Krupa.
Well, I'd be against it also. Like I say, the ratepayer would have a minimum input. And I like open door meetings and where the ratepayer has something to say. Just like this, when they created this, when you conserve energy and they're going to charge you more. To me, that was so ridiculous, I cannot believe it. So, no, I'm against it.
Thank you. And Tom Mulligan.
Not only does the great state of Nebraska have a unicameral, but it was previously mentioned, we're the only state in the union that still has public power districts. So it is a state law that Nebraska, the way our system is set up by law. In order to have that change, it needs to be introduced and passed by the legislature as well as signed by the governor. So does it work in Nebraska? Well, I think the one thing that we all need to look at is the fact that, as a district, we pay approximately 15% less for our electricity than anywhere else in the country. So, are we doing it exactly right? No, I think there's things that can be done better. The OPPD's 2016 transformation plan calls for a $60 million budget reduction for the year 2016, which is going to take place through efficiencies, within the company. And I think we have to continue down that path to look inward to do a better job of running the company. But unless there is some groundswell or a clamor from the general public to change the way the system is set up, I am not in favor of privatization.
Thank you. And Paul Anderson.
As it's previously been said, Nebraska is the only state in the nation who has publicly owned utilities. I stand firmly opposed to privatizing. It's my understanding that the motivation behind privatizing is that it'll save the taxpayers' money. As recent evidence, I will point out to you all, the state of Nebraska went ahead and privatized the Health and Human Services, and look what kind of mess that created. I stand firmly opposed to any privatization of OPPD. It makes no sense at all.
Okay, thank you.